Welcome back to another morning where Star Wars is brand new and it's time to go see it at the theater. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'm teaching a special Zumba class today. But just as soon as that's over, I'm gonna go home and eat breakfast, and then I'm going to go watch the movie again. And what a time to be alive. Pretty sure I've mentioned it before, but sometimes I'll count my life in increments of I gotta stay alive until this comes out. Now that The Last Jedi has come out, if I die like in the next few months, I'll be okay with that. I've lived a good life. Okay, anyways, time to go teach that class. Class was good, bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. I gotta eat breakfast and then I gotta go watch that movie. Woo! Dude, it's really weird when I watch these movies. It's like when I watch them, they transport me to that world so much. It really feels like another life, like a life by proxy where you're just looking through. So when I come back to my real life, it's like almost disorienting because I'm like, this is real life? That's so weird. And like all I've been able to do since I've gotten home is like watch behind the scenes YouTube videos, think about the movie, talk with other people about the movie. I am gonna have to find some way to get back to real life here. I did just buy tickets for another 70mm showing on Monday. If you can see that movie in 70mm, definitely see it in that form because it's way better than a regular theater. Regular theater is just, it's the type of movie that once you see it, you're like, man, I want to do something amazing. I don't know what, but I gotta go do something amazing. So glad I caught that on camera. Also, that's video evidence that that was the very first try. No editing. Okay, so this new Star Wars movie and the mixed reaction it's gotten has gotten me thinking about reviews. What is a review? See, on the surface, that seems like an incredibly dumb question. It's like, here, take Ever Oasis and tell me whether it's good or not. Or take Kikujiro and tell me whether it's good or not. Or take Blood, Sweat, and Pixels and tell me whether it's good or not. And maybe this is incredibly obvious to you and I'm just kind of slow, but what reviews actually are two things. One, is this what you wanted? And two, how is the execution of the mechanics? Let's take movies, for example. The first thing is the mechanics. Is it acted well? Was it shot well? Does it look nice? These are all of the things that you can kind of objectively look at and say, was this actually done well? Because we all sort of have a similar sense of what is done well as far as like production values and stuff like that. But the other thing that people are really talking about when they're talking about a review of anything is this what you wanted? Because from the reaction to both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, when people have complaints about it, it's rarely on the execution side. The execution side, I feel like everybody can more or less get behind the fact that it was reasonably well acted. Like there might have been one or two lines that people could have debates on. The production values were through the roof. You can't argue that any of the production was bad. That's pretty much objective. I mean, unless you're from the future. But the thing that people differ on is the things that they want from a movie. Because for me, Star Wars, the direction that they're taking it is so exactly in the direction that I want. Like one of the complaints that people had about this new movie is that they didn't like the humor in it. And for me, that's what made the movie. That levity in the face of danger and bad situations, that is the style, that's the thing that I want out of that movie. For me, this new movie went so, like I couldn't even pick a more exact version of what I wanted that movie to be. This is what I'm trying to get at, is that Star Wars is like apples, and people like different types of apples. A lot of people want Star Wars to be very serious and like, they don't want the movie to be for kids. And I think our tendency is to say that this is bad because it's not what I wanted. I don't think it's bad, I think it's that you wanted Red Delicious, but you got Granny Smith, for example. But it's a tough thing because a lot of people have been waiting a very long time for the Star Wars and they didn't know what they were gonna get. Like my buddy Max in Germany, he didn't like it that much and he's really disappointed by it. And I feel for him because if I were disappointed by this movie, it would be very disappointing. It would be more disappointing than in another movie that I'd be looking forward to, just because I like Star Wars so much. Anyways, I thought I had more of a grand conclusion to that, but I just find it very interesting. It's like, we all want something different. And I think there's some fundamentals in life that we can all agree on, that we all want, but the specifics of what we want to focus our time and energy on, I think that's where a lot of the political divide comes from. Like, some people are really concerned with safety and protection of their land and their family. That's not a priority for me. So for me, like, the buildup of the military doesn't make any sense, but I can see how it would make sense for somebody else because that's what they want to focus on. I see that as barbaric, but for them, they see me as barbaric because they can't see how I don't want to protect what is ours. I'm going to do a review on Breath of the Wild. I wasn't planning on doing this at first because I didn't have much to say about it, but the more I've thought about it, the more I have to say, and now I actually have a lot to say about both what's good and bad about this game. And this is a very good example of what I was talking about earlier, in that reviews are both what you want out of something and also mechanics. It'll be very interesting to look at because they have both good and bad things to say about both categories. It's not like Star Wars where I'm just effusive about everything. There's really not much bad I can say about it, which, man, that's amazing. I wish everything was like that, but Zelda not so much. I'm gonna do a full review on that. Not today or anything, but expect that soon. Man, I'm just like so happy from this movie. Oh, another one of my favorite movies, The 10th Kingdom. There's this line in it where this guy says,
"They say money doesn't bring you happiness, but it certainly brings a smile to my face."
In the same way, like, a movie cannot give you permanent, lasting, real contentment and happiness, but it can give you a hell of a peak experience. Okay, that's gonna do it for today's vlog. I just realized that I've seen this movie twice in the last 24 hours, and all I can do is think about it. It's actually kind of disturbing because, like, I can't recondition back to regular life because it's like such a... You know what else I was thinking about? Some of my very earliest memories are watching the Star Wars movies. By the time I was conscious and able to watch Star Wars, I had already seen the movie multiple times, and like looking at all the characters and everything, no wonder that I like the movie so much because it feels like a world that I have been to before. And I think maybe part of that is because I saw it before I was even a conscious human being. It's funny how deeply it affects me. It's just a movie. It's all just a creative universe, but it's weird. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's vlog. Thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow. Okay, anyways, time to go teach that class. Why did I smash my finger just now? Oh.